This is what we discussed yesterday on the Black and Gold Daily Blitz, brought to you by DSP Media. Welcome back. These are the games. This is the range of teams that the Steelers should be able to beat on the backs of their defense, in the occasional offensive highlight here and there, which is kind of what we saw. I think the only thing that surprised me a little bit more was that the running game was even more effective than the last 2-3 weeks combined, and without Harris for a more second half.
Right. It's an
solid take by you
win
there.
because, it's a nice win over a mediocre team. But it's nice though to see the Steelers beat a team they should beat. You know what I mean?
Yes, for sure. I'm going to cut to the end of that game because in the cast, one matchups I was looking forward to seeing was Highsmith against. It's not Rayman, by the way. Apparently, it's Ryman. My mistake of Highsmith. And the entire last series, the last 4 downs, 3 of them were dominated by him. He got the sack force fumble, which the Indianapolis did recover.
Right.
The Ryan got his long scramble. Then he stuffed Taylor on a quick snap handoff. And 4th and 3, he literally pushed Ryman back into Ryan, disrupting his flow. And then Ryan had to roll out a little bit to his left, throw against his body into the double coverage to end the game. I thought Highsmith took over the last minute of that game because TJ Watt was actually held in check. He didn't get any stats, and TJ Watt was disruptive in the first 2 quarters. But by and large, he wasn't a difference maker in that game. I thought Highsmith came out the better of the two, and it made the difference at the end of the game in that last series.
Which is a good sign, right? To see somebody other than TJ Watt make a big difference on defense, that's a huge thing to see.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm excited about that. That part also excites
me.
The
fact that for sure. The 3 set the world on fire.
Right.
Yeah, and other guys came through defensively. I mean, when those 2 were bottled up, Arthur Millette came up with a random sack, his first of his career.
Right.
And other than the quick, I think other than the 3rd quarter, Jonathan Taylor, he didn't dominate the game. He should have. They should have gone to him. Oh my God, it took him a quarter and a half to realize they had maybe the best running back in the league. But Taylor, 86 yards at a touchdown.
First quarter, they had the ball at all.
Yeah, I don't know what took him so long.
Yeah. I think
that's fair.
It's kind of devaluing the win a little bit with all the talk about Jeff Saturday and the timeouts. He should have burned them, which he should have used them. Yes. But Adam, couldn't Matt Ryan have said timeout on his own? Veteran quarterback. He knows he's got 3 timeouts. Couldn't he have said
I was saying that last night. I'm like, hold on. Yeah, the guy's been in the league, 14 years? I think he knows maybe when a timeout is appropriate in a situation.
Right.
Ask for forgiveness later, right? Just take the timeout, man. Conserve 20, 30 seconds.
Yes.
And I also understood where Saturday was coming from. Here was the other thing. If you're down a field goal, I understand it more because you have that as a fail-safe. But yeah, I didn't understand. Tomlin came out of that game looking like a stud coach. He didn't. That's not fair. There weren't really many coaching mistakes. Here's the one dynamic that I thought was very interesting in the post-game interviews.
Mm-hmm.
Pickett was asked. There's been lots of stories today and verified that Pickett's the one that's called the play for Benny Snell to get the ball on the touchdown run. And when asked how that play came to fruition,
Right.
Pickett said he talked it over with Tomlin and Sullivan, not
Oh,
Matt
not
Canada.
Canada. Right.
Um, and not Canada, right? So maybe there was some shakeup involved that we don't know about, and this is total speculation. I don't know
Right.
of anything. I haven't heard of anything. But Pickett left Canada's name out of that conversation when asked how that play came about. So two things: one, Pickett took a little bit of charge,
Sure.
as the quarterback he should, but as a rookie, that takes some time. So he had a command of the huddle and the attention of the coaches, and Matt Canada's name wasn't mentioned when they were scheming up that play. So two things that I liked about that. Other than a couple of drop passes, which one in the end zone. Oh, actually, two in the end zone. One
In the
for
end zone.
Pickett,
One for
one for
Johnson.
Deontay.
Yeah.
I mean, the stats don't jump out at you, but I thought he did very well. He missed a couple of open guys early on. Deontay, I think specifically twice, where he just doesn't look off that first or second read. I'll take it if it means no turnovers. 3 weeks in a row now, no turnovers for
3
the
weeks in a row
Steelers.
now. Yes, that's huge.
Which right, which absolutely was a major factor. Uh, you had the botched kick return coverage that kind of fooled Indianapolis that third quarter. It turned out to be a pretty significant swing in the game, but I loved how they responded, which is not something we've seen all season long.
It line he had is as far as the final stat line for Pickett is about what you would want to have almost exactly out of a rookie quarterback. You know what I mean? You don't want to come out there and throw 2 picks. You don't necessarily need 400 yards passing on like 28 of 56 attempts. No, with this team and what they need from Pickett, what we've seen his growth is he didn't go out there and throw for 300 yards. He didn't throw 4 touchdowns. He managed the game very well and did what was needed to win the game. And
Mhm.
so the no picks thing is the biggest thing on this. And he made no terrible mistakes.
For sure. And another big component I thought was that they had 35 rushing attempts, I
Yep.
believe. Uh, Najee with 12, Westerville Central's own Benny Snell with 12, McFarland had 6, and both of those guys are smaller than Najee Harris, and they ran hard. I was
Right.
a little concerned when I saw them giving McFarland some runs in between the tackles. I was like, nah, that's not really his thing. But they did very well off. And by the Snell hadn't had a carry all season. I don't think. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think that. I think that was his first carries this season. I know he's an experienced running back on the team. Certainly McFarland didn't have any carries this season, and they both came in as if they were the primary backups. Like they didn't really they didn't miss a beat.
You
Um,
nailed it. First carry of the season.
and
Yes.
again, okay, and so yes, I don't know how to measure that. I don't know how to measure this. You and I were talking about if they lose either of these next two games, then we know where we stand. Right? We're on the
Right.
bottom third, and there's just no the denial is gone. This is where we're at.
Right.
I don't. Yes, but the Colts look so bad. I don't know how much credit to give this team either, and the Falcons don't have a scary offense either. So I don't know. Like it's and the Ravens are struggling, and Carolina has their own issues, and these are all the next opponent. And you don't apologize for who you win. It's just where do you measure at this point? And I'm starting to come around to the fact that it doesn't matter as long as we're seeing trajectory in the right
Yeah.
direction, right? I mean, like as
Right.
long as they're beating the teams they're supposed to beat, the defense holds well enough, and the offense is improving.
I'm a believer, Adam, in that I the confidence helps. Like, Atlanta may be just as good as Indy. They may be the same ballpark as Indy when it comes to that game. But the fact that the Steelers were able to do what they were able to do with losing Harris, with Watt not being a huge factor in the game, that tells me the team should have more
Mhm.
confidence now heading into that game with the Falcons, and even going forward when they play the Ravens. If Pickett's more confident and if he's that more assertive about calling the play, say, look, we're running the ball. That's what we're doing. That's the call. Jerk store. If he does that and the team responds that way, that's huge.
Yeah, it certainly sounds like he's got the locker room now. It didn't take very long.
Right.
God, you just mentioned something that just triggered. Oh man, oh, hate it when that happens. So they've got first half. That's and it's coming from different guys. You mentioned it. Watt wasn't a major factor. Fitzpatrick had a couple of big plays in there, but by and large, they stayed away from him. Guys like James Pierre came up big on a couple plays. I know he gave up the touchdown, but he had more better plays than not. Ogunjobi was a stud in the first half. Loudermilk, like their fifth defensive end, blocks a field goal before the halftime. They're getting at times production from every different corner. And that's what it's going to take, because you're right. Not every week Watt is he's not going to blow up every week. Hayward is on the back end of a magnificent career, but he can't do it every week either. Last year, I felt like he really held that team up on his shoulders. So it's night, man. I hope they lock up Ogunjobi. There was a 1-year deal. He's getting paid somewhere, and it won't be in Pittsburgh, I don't think, unfortunately.
We're watching this, Adam, and
starting to get that's another discussion.
I'm starting to get like that excited feel about, what? It is Tomlin. It is the Steelers. It's a rookie quarterback. They've had a run before with a rookie quarterback. And, I'm starting to talk myself into, you know what? 9-8 actually is a possibility here. And they could maybe sneak in. Maybe. I know it's not going to happen. But I've got that vibe.
I'm going to stick to the 8. I know. I'm going to stick to the 8-9 ceiling. I still think they're going to lose to the Raiders because that's the type of offense that just is. They're getting. I don't want to say annihilated, but when the Bills and the Eagles do what they do at will, the Raiders have that type of potency that they can put on their opponents. So I still think they split with the Ravens. I still think the Raiders hand them another loss, and that's 2, and there's your 9. So 8-9, I still feel like is my ceiling. So you never know, right? I mean, they beat Atlanta, they upset Baltimore, and then they got Carolina. Now you're 7-7 with the Raiders in town, and all of a sudden you are back in the hunt, as the networks like to say.
Right. Yeah, I can't wait I hope that happens that way. I'd love to see them be it that way. Yeah.
I also remember quite a long time ago in week 1, after the upset over Cincinnati, when we were saying, ooh, 3-1, 4-0, I don't know what could happen.
0-3, right. So, yes.
1 win does not make a season. Let's let's look forward to the Atlanta game. And we'll be back on the air here with the preview for the Falcons Steelers game next Sunday. Is that on? No, it is on CBS because it is at Atlanta. Have you heard the early line yet? What's the spread on that? Have you seen it yet?
I'll tell you right now.
Hang on. If only we had these devices.
I know. I was going to tell you that, I don't know if you saw the stat, that Pickett is the first Steelers rookie quarterback to win on Monday Night Football since Bradshaw.
Oh, yeah? Huh.
I think only one other one has started as a rookie. No, I heard it today. I didn't hear it yesterday.
Fine. Oh, okay. Falcons are -1.5.
Yeah, I like the Steelers all day in that one.
I mean, it's essentially the same thing as what
Yeah, it's you're banking on wins.
All right, Mariota has a little bit more mobility, but they don't have Jonathan Taylor, so I think that kind of cancels out.
I agree. Yep, should be fun. All right, man.
All right, more on the Falcons later this week. Yeah, more on the Falcons later this week. This is the Black and Gold Daily Blitz. Jeff Thidoff at Thid Happens. Adam Kahn at AJ Kahn 95. Word.
You the man, Adam.
It's true.